many a time when she would walk, if she came out, she would pretty much be leaning over the walker and looking straight down. So there was a lot of time where she would never look up. I almost kind of believe that within the past couple of years, I don't really think she ever looked up with, with everything that was going on with a lot of the pain that she had. It's very seldom that she actually came out of the room. I think that we both can agree you pretty much stayed in the house, in your room, because it was hard to get up and walk around with all of the pain that you had. I mean, I think you can tell it better. How were you sleeping?
Well, like the pain was worse at night. I couldn't hardly sleep because, especially it was on both sides, all this side and my side. So I had to be turning around because I couldn't sleep, But then when I started, drinking the water, I felt a lot better, But then all of a sudden, after so much time, the pain is gone. I'm sleeping and I'm not hurting on my sides.
Well, and the other thing too is that, and sometimes she always likes to stay real humble about it, but now she comes outside and she'll go sit in the family room with the kids. And I think there's been a couple of times where I've said it's time to come out of that room.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the only thing is because I had heart surgery, so I take a lot of medication. And in the morning is the worst time, for the medication that I take in the morning. So there's one pill that I have to be running to the bathroom. So instead of being over there, I'm out here because I'm closer to the bathroom, because if I go over there, it's a long ways to run down here.
But now she's actually coming out, like when she says coming out here now, she'll sit here. So she'll read her paper in the front room, whereas before she wouldn't read in the front room. She would read in her room. Yeah. And so now she comes out here, and then in the afternoon when the medication starts to kind of settle and she doesn't have to worry about constantly having to get up, she'll go into the other room. And she'll watch pretty much sports most of the time, huh?
I love sports.
Yeah. Before she started taking the water, getting her outside was not going to happen. You wouldn't get her down those stairs, something even as simple as a one-step stairs. And there's been a couple of times where we've gone outside and we've pretty much walked, 2 or 3 houses down. And I think if anybody understands what I say when I say the man rule, she almost had me break the man rule because she said, I haven't been out here in a long time and I forgot what it looks like. So that's kind of a heartbreaker. So when you see somebody that can come outside again and remember what it's like, you kind of feel like you did something right. Yeah. And so I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's outside. I'm happy that she's getting up. I'm happy that she's going after the kids, and kind of giving them what for and joking with them, because she wasn't doing that before.
And after you too.
And after me too. She's my biggest one. And she, and like I said earlier, when we did just my interview, she would come out and sit by the sliding door just to make sure with the heat and everything that I was okay. So, and before she wouldn't have been able to do that because she couldn't get up. Right. So I think you'd say that you're more part of the family because you're up and walking around now and you're able to do something.
Yeah, I can be with you guys over there.
And you weren't able to do that before.
No. See, I have osteoporosis too, so that's my bones.
Yes.
Yeah. So the doctor already said my bones are really brittle. I'm not supposed to pick up anything or lift anything like that.
And now we get her out there. In fact, we take you to your daughter's house up in Bakersfield.
I miss when I used to walk, not 1 block all the way around.
Yeah.
I used to walk every morning.
Yeah. And now you're up to 2 houses now, right? 2 to 3 houses? Well, we went to the corner. That was about 4 or 5, but you got to start somewhere. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And she does it. And she's not, now she's more open to, let's go I'll say, hey, let's go take a walk. All right. And then, out we go. Yeah. And then we'll go into the sun and we'll walk. And I remember one time she said the sun feels good. Yeah. She said it feels good. It feels warm. And,
I exercise with my walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exercise. So then she didn't know my daughter. I was exercising on this, 5 steps?
5 steps.
Going up and down.
Wow.
When I'm up by myself.
Yeah.
So I told her one time, she said, Mom.
But now she's, again, now she's up and walking. She's doing more. You know, she's moving back and forth. I think she's kind of, to be quite honest with you, looking to rip that door open and get outside again. So,
Yeah.
you know, kids are good. You know, her grandkids are good with that. They're like, let's, you know, we'll take you out. We'll go for a walk. You know, so she's able to watch her grandson's baseball games now that she couldn't do before. So, you know, those are big things. She does more of what she couldn't do before. And I think, you know, again, you know, yeah, I understand the mother-in-law thing and all that, but, you know, it's a big thing for me. You know, when to see her get up and walk around, because she's a huge role model for the kids, you know, and to see that at one point she was down, you know, and now she's drinking this water, and now she's up, and the kids are like, holy, you know, well, if you were hurt, I can't be hurt anymore, because look at you, you know. And to see that, how do you, you know, really?
You are an inspiration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when nobody's
Thank
here,
you.
I can fix my own
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
And you know, at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets up, she's, you know, I'll see her opening the refrigerator, grabbing her stuff, setting it all up. I'll see her not walking with her walker, but, you know, I don't tell anybody. I'm like, you know, that's our secret, right? So, you know, we do our thing, but she knows I'm there for her, and I think she knows that, you know, this water gave her the key
Oh, yes.
to do what she wants to do now,
Yeah.
you know. And she's coming from a background that, you know, she's a Texas girl, you know, from way back in the day. You know, she's 86. So, you know, in her, you know, in her world, this is big, you know. And for her to quit, that hurt even more, to know that she couldn't do something because she was hurt, and now she's not hurt anymore.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a miracle,
Yeah.
because they thought I was gonna
Yeah.
die when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
I come from a small town, and then medicine wasn't that advanced, and it was 35 miles from the little town to the hospital. So I was 3 years old, and my mama said they took me down because I had a fever. In those days, I don't know what kind of fever, but anyway. So there were 2 doctors, and they told them, we did all we could for your little girl. There's nothing else we can do. Take her home, and just a miracle. So I'm still here.
How do you, you know, how do you explain an 86-year-old woman who broke her back, 5 vertebrae, open heart surgery, confined to her room for 3 years, or 2.5, 3 years, just going, you know, to the bathroom and back. And it took a little while. I think she needed to see me on the water first, which worked out really well. And then I just basically said, okay, why don't you try it? I go, you know, and like I said earlier in previous interviews with myself, is that you have nothing to lose. If anything, it's water, you'll stay hydrated. That's the worst that can happen. And 2-3 days, you'd say?
Yeah, but then I just couldn't believe it, that my pants, you know, on my side were gone. And I could sleep, you know, at night.
And she's always told me that she sleeps really good now,
Yeah.
a lot deeper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sleeps a lot deeper, and she gets up and she's not tired like she used to be, because she used to get up at what, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every night, and then she would drink the water and you know, and do her thing, and then she, you know, sure, she'd get up at 4, but she'd get up again at what, 9, you know, 9 o'clock, and she'd be ready to go, and then she's just walking around doing whatever she's got to do for the rest of the day. But I mean, like I said, to see her out here reading, you know, out here watching the neighbors go by and wanting more to, okay, let's go, take me for a walk. Unfortunately, right now we can't because the temperature's been getting really hot, but the want is there. You know, she went from hunched over to the point where she was hunched completely over to almost 90 degrees. She would literally be looking over her, better example would be, she would be looking at her walker in this fashion, but this way. And so when she would walk, everything was really slow. Now she's kind of up here, and she's taking the walker for the walk. So this thing is more like in her way. And now she uses this more to do her in-house
So
workouts.
they showed me at the rehab
Right.
after I had the heart surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's vast improvement from the 90 degree to she's coming up. She's standing up straighter. Like she said, you know, she's 3 years old, no medicine, back in the 30s, you know, and Now it's 2017 and she's 86 and we're doing something to improve her life and it's working. I think the way that she says thank you is she gets up and walks around and does more and starts to do more things, and she starts to, you know, help out with this or help out with that, or, you know, get on the kids, or, you know, get on me again, you know, and have fun, and I don't mind, you know, because I see her as someone who is not going to lay down anymore. I think she's done. So, you know, I think even your medications, the Motrin you were taking, you used to take 2 Motrin in the morning and 2 at night, and that's kind of changing.
Yeah, well,
Depending on how she sleeps that night. I mean, still there'll be some times where she'll wake up and you'll still have to take 2.
yeah.
You know, and then there'll be a lot of other nights so that she'll take 1. You know, so vast improvements.
Well, all I got to say is thank you for that water, because it's helped me a lot.